Once you're done with an assembly or a 3D model, the next step is to create a drafting or a drawing. To do this, you need to go to the Start button over here and then select Drafting. The first thing that the software will ask you is to create the size of the sheet that you will be using. It could be a template, it could be a standard size, or it could be a custom size. Usually the standard size for drafting are C. If you click a standard size and click here in size, you can see the different dimensions, which are in inches, that sheet will have. Usually C is the most common, which is at 17 by 22 inches. For this case, we're going to use a template that is already loaded on the software, so you don't have to install anything. And then just click OK and click Close here. Now, this is the sheet where you will be creating all your drawings. Now, we will create different views of the model that we just previously created. So you go here next to New Sheet, go to View Creation, and click this little arrow, and select Base View. This is to add different views of the part you just created. Now, as you can see here, on Model View, it tells you the view that you are using. In this case, we're using the top view. You can also select the back view, or the right view, or any other view that you need. You can also create your own view. Also, you can select the scale that you want your view to have. For example, now we have 1:1, but you can make it bigger, like 8:1. If you have really huge sheet, 8:1, or really small. In this case, we're going to have 1:1, and I will show you later how to change the scale. So in this case, I'm gonna add a top view. Now, once you add one view, as you can see, if you rotate your cursor, you will see that you can add any other view related to this piece. For example, if we add this view, but then we want to add another view, but it's not showing it when you are moving the cursor, then just click Close, and then go to Base View again, and then add another view. In this case, I want to add a isometric view. Now, we will modify the scale of our view. You can always modify anything you want by right-clicking, make sure that a red line is highlighting your piece, right-click the view, and then click Edit. And here you will be able to make any changes that you want. Let's have this one 2:1. Now, we're going to add another base view, but in this case, we're going to create the view that we want to add to our drawing. So here on Model View to Use, click this one, which is the Orient View tool. And then, as you can see here, you will be able to rotate your model until you get the desired view that you want. In this case, we want a view like this. So we click OK. And now the view that we just created is showing in our drafting. If you move one part, as you can see, there will be orange lines that are showing. These lines show the middle point of the drawings that you just created. Now we're going to try to put them, all of them, exactly at the center of each other. Like that. Another way to change the scale is right-clicking and click on Settings. And then from here, click on General, and on Settings, you can see the scale and you can change it over here. Just click OK, like this. Now, we will learn how to use two important features, which is the Detail View and the Section View. So you go here to base view, click this little arrow, and then select section view. This feature, what it does is that it cuts the part that you are selecting and it will show you the drafting of that part. So in this case, what you have to do is to select the part that you want to cut, and then you're going to select a center point. Now, if you see, it doesn't matter wherever you move your cursor, it will always be exactly at the middle of this line. So make sure that you select correct the point where you want to create this view. Let's say right here. Now, once you select the point, you will be able to rotate around that specific point to make the cut. It could be in this side, or this side, or any side that you want. In this case, we're going to add one in this side. I'm going to raise this part so you can see better. Now, as you can see, this is the cut that we just created. This is really helpful when you have, for example, holes. When it's a solid part that you are cutting, it will show these lines. And when there is a hole, it will not show any line. It will just be completely transparent. Now we will add a detail view of the part that we had. In this case, the detail view is just to represent really a small part that you can see, so it will make them bigger. So again, you go to base view here and click on detail view. Now there are two different types of detail view that you can create. You can use circular or you can use rectangular by corners or rectangular by center and corner. Usually the one that you will always be using is circular. So the first thing that you have to do is to specify the center point where you want that detail view to start, and then you're going to select the boundary or the end of that circle to end. In this case, we want to make a detail view of the whole, and then you can make it as big as you want or as small as you want. I'm going to zoom it so you can see better. Now, it will show you just the hole, and we're going to place it over here. Now, as you can see here, you can also change here the scale, or you can change it later. In this case, let's make it 2:1, so it's not that big. And then close. Now, as you can see here, remember when we did the section view, it gave you some letter A, and the section view corresponding in section AA. Because we already used letter A, now whatever feature we create then will be letter B. Sometimes you will need to create a note to give in specific information on the drafting that you just created. This is usually because you don't have enough space to give all the dimensions to all the part. A note is really useful. For example, we're going to use it on this hole. So we are going to create a hole to denote the dimension of the diameter of the hole and the depth of that hole. So you click here on note and click here. So you can have the whole access to the menu. In this case, we're going to use symbols. Symbols are really important because you can add, for example, a diameter, a depth, or in a plus minus for tolerance. So you can create these things by yourself. In this case, the diameter of the hole is 0.5 with the depth of 2. As you can see, the note will help other people to understand the drafting that you just created clearly. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe.